Everyone, hope you do well. The middle of the international break means it's time to get desperate. There's a barrel. There's the bottom of the barrel, and you'll find myself and Gonzo in there. Just have a little look, see what we can get out of it for content for the next couple of weeks. But anyway, Gonzo, sometimes a little piece of news falling into your lap. It's not big enough to make a video about, but I've got two little bits of news. First up, Ogbonna. We did the video yesterday. The news come out that he's injured and stuff. Shortly after, sort of in that video, we were wondering what's going to happen with Ogbonna's contract. It's up at the end of the season. Well, the rumours are that we're going to give him a new deal anyway. That even if he is out for the rest of the season, West Ham, we're going to give him a one-year contract extension and sort of stand by the man, if you like. So here, have another chance, get yourself fit, come back next year stronger. We'll have Ogbonna back.
I think it's the right decision. I can't have a little dig first though. Because I thought the statement was nice, but the statement said, "Look, we're loyal people, we stick by people." And I think Sullivan said, "I believe in karma." I believe in karma, so I'm doing the right thing. It didn't escape my notice. I had to have a little chuckle about that. But once we finished having a chuckle, it is absolutely the right thing to do. And I think it's fallen really well, actually, for the club on this. Now, they don't have to, by the way. They do not have to do this at all. But they will do it because you don't have the liability that you had with Winston Reid, which Winston Reid gets injured and he's still got 4 years left of a 75 grand a week contract. This is not the same as that. This is an option that was already on his contract, which will expire at the end of this season, to activate another year. It is absolutely the right thing to do because it allows Ogbonna to, if it's a worse injury than before, it allows him with an extra year's wages, which, let's be fair, is probably, I don't know, going to be at least £3 million or something like that. It allows him to plan with that extra money and do whatever he needs to do. So I think it's wonderful from his point of view. I also think there's not much liability from the club as well. It's not like we've got to give him a bigger contract. They'll be done on exactly the same terms as he was on before. And it's not going to cost us 25, 30 million if it doesn't work out. So actually, I think it's perfect for both parties. If it turns out and he comes back and he's fighting fit and he's firing, maybe they'll offer him another one off the back of that as well. Or maybe he plays with West Ham until he's 35 or something like that. But I do think it is the right thing to do. But also, Geo, within the parameters of the squad and around it, I think that's a feel-good thing to do. I think the rest of the squad will hear that and think, oh, actually, that's good. He's looking after our mate. They would have been worried about him. And I know it's easy to band these figures around, like 3 million. It sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. To us, it's a lot of money. But I tell you what, if you're earning £2-3 million a year, I guarantee your house is worth a lot of money. You know what I mean? You've probably got a mortgage that's through the roof. You've got a basically your expenses will be in line with what you earn as well. So, you know, I think it's nice. They would have been a little bit worried about him. I think it's good. I think it's the right thing to do.
The club have got insurance as well. The club have got insurance to help cover for things like this. They won't have to pay 100% of his wages while he's out injured. Don't know how it works. I'm not in the financial sector of football, but there is insurance there to help out with things like this. And if you really look into it, you can find out. Same with if a player gets injured on international duty, the information is out there if you want to go and have a little look and research it yourselves. I'm torn on this one. There's the sort of the business part of it. I think, I'm surprised actually. I think it's because of the James Collins thing more than the Winston Reid thing. In fact, the Winston Reid thing would almost give them reasons to get rid of him at the end of the season. But the James Collins one, when he was fit as a fiddle at the end of the season, they still said, no, off you go, you're too old now, see you later, cheerio. So now we've got a guy broken, the same age as James Collins was when, you know, Ogbonna turns 34 in May. So similar age to what James Collins was when we heave-hoed him. So I was expecting us to sort of say, well, we'll wait till see how you get on, Ogbonna. We'll wait till the end of the season and see if you're fit enough before. So there is the one side of me as a fan that I agree with what you're saying. It's a good sentiment. And when you're dealing with 2-3 million, I know we can't dismiss it, but it goes back to that, I don't know what his job was, the Bayern Munich guy. Can I just call him the Bayern Munich guy? When he got asked about why they charge £200 per season ticket, he said, well, we could charge £300, extra £100 each. We'll earn another 2 million. But what's 2 million to Bayern Munich? It takes us 5 minutes to discuss 2 million in a transfer deal. Football fans aren't cows. I'm not going to milk them. Now, it goes along with that to some extent. If it is 3 million, it's going to cost the club. What's 3 million really when you're willing to splash it up the wall and further down the line? But I don't know. I just think I think it gives a little insight into the January transfer window to some extent. Because I think if you were intending on replacing Ogbonna in January or in the summer, you probably wouldn't take this decision now to give him a new contract. Then you think, well, hang on, we can't have 5 senior centre backs on £70,000 a week plus. We're not that big yet. Unless we get Champions League football, we are not that big. We can't afford that much. So I was a bit surprised by it that they've taken it so early. But I do also think, right, this is a cynic in me with David Sullivan, that they're expecting good news from the scan later on this week in regards to how injured is Ogbonna. I've got a feeling they're expecting him to be out for a handful of months rather than the rest of the season.
He played on for a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, and he walked off the pitch. And when you read the wording of the club article, it was that he's damaged it rather than ruptured it or anything like that. So there's a few things that point in the direction of him, the club perhaps being hopeful. And I think this is one of the things, because I still don't believe a leopard doesn't change his spots in that. I'm not sure David Sullivan will be handing out, even if it is just 1-year contract extensions to a player that may miss half the season. If it's as bad as it can be, he's out for a year calendar. He's not back till Christmas next year. So for the first half of the season, he wouldn't be back. So I just think, I think the club are maybe expecting good news on this one. But anyway, more importantly, possibly for the long term of West Ham United, we've got a new scout, Gonzo. We've got a new scout.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to tell. I found out 2 minutes before we went into this video. So I don't. Tell me a little bit about him if you can.
Do you know when we do these videos, I don't normally write notes. It's like a topic. Let's just have a chat. I had to write down, ignore a bone at the bottom, just to remind me. I had to write down a spider's web for this one.
Oh, hello. That looks good. That looks good.
It all links together to some extent. And I'm trying to work out if there's something more to it. And sometimes you can read too much into something. But I do wonder if Kaleta or Kamara.
Oh.
Do you remember Boubacar Kamara?
Oh, it's a lovely name.
Boubacar Kamara.
He's a good player. I like him.
His contract's out in the summer. Yeah. Also a centre-back. I do wonder if one of them may appear at West Ham at some point, because there's too much Marseille links going on here. So the person that we signed as a scout is Georges Santos.
Gorgeous Santos.
Georges.
I like Gorgeous. I want to call him Gorgeous Santos.
Call him Gorgeous Santos if you don't think you mind. Now, it's either his name is Georges or someone's done a tweet with a typo and I've assumed it's Georges rather than look it up. No, I've looked it up. It's Georges. I've looked it up to make sure it's the right one. Anyway, we pinched him from Marseille. He was sort of European scout at Marseille, and he's changed his LinkedIn profile. He's changed his own LinkedIn profile to Chief European Scout at West Ham United. So that's
you've followed him. You've followed him, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yes. I knew you would.
Sent him a connection request like, hello, Georges. Hello.
Hey, Hammer's chat here. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Got any YouTube videos Gonzo can watch?
We got gorgeous, my old son. We got an empty couple of weeks. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. We need some content. Come on, Gorgeous. Come and tell us all about it.
Georges, have you heard of Danny Ings? Here's a YouTube.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, a terrific little player. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going from Marseille. So there's a few things. There's 2 clubs here apart from West Ham. There's Marseille and Man City, right? He used to be a scout at Manchester City. He was a scout at Manchester City in 2013. I don't know when he left Man City. There's not that much information on Gorgeous Georges, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
He was a scout at Man City in 2013. Rob Newman was the chief scout at Man City in 2010 to 2021. So they have worked together at Manchester City. So now we're getting a vibe. We now know who's picked the scout, I think it's fair to say.
I'm just wondering how this all fits in around your Wheel of Fortune, because I can see you should have got one in pens that I've got that's got the Bic ones with the 4 colours on it. I would have. But go on, carry on.
Oh, there's another person's name to come into the equation yet.
Okay.
Do you remember John Aldridge?
I do. Striker, Mr. Penalty in the FA Cup final against Wimbledon. Scouser, moustache. He might still have a moustache. He might not. He's probably still a Scouser.
Do you remember his non-playing role at West Ham United?
No.
He was the chief at West Ham when we signed Tevez and Mascherano. He was
John Aldridge, the ex-Liverpool striker.
Yeah, he was at West Ham.
You sure you mean it was Paul Aldridge?
No, it's John Aldridge.
Paul Aldridge was the Go on. Anyway, it's a ridiculous. This will be a ridiculous video. Go on, carry on. I will go with what you're saying. Go on.
But one's Paul.
Paul used to go out with gorgeous Santos.
I don't know, maybe. Right, can we just call him Aldridge?
He's now. This is my one. He's now become a doctor, and he treats ACL. So he's now rubbing Ogbonna's leg to get him back in 3 months. He's good mates with David Sullivan. So he's told David Sullivan, I think he's going to be all right in 3 months. David Sullivan say, "Oh, look, we always stick by our players." I made all of that up, by the way. Please don't take any of that.
Ignore whether it's John or Paul. Let's call him Aldridge. So Aldridge was a chief at West Ham. We signed Tevez as a Mascherano, right? And then he was appointed to Marseille at the start of 2020. He joined Marseille at the start of 2020 when Gorgeous Georges was there. And his job at Marseille, was to sell players to the Premier League. So Marseille were unhappy that they'd sold Anguissa to Fulham for 30 million. He thought, wow, what a fantastic deal that was. Let's sell more players to the Premier League for inflated
They'll buy
prices.
anything over there.
So Aldridge's job came in, and Andre Villebois, the Marseille manager, wasn't very happy about it. He basically said, I don't know who this guy is. I don't want him here. Get rid of him. And he failed. The only club he could get to come to the table last summer was West Ham United. I was having a little video earlier, trying to connect all the dots, but basically he was trying to get West Ham to sign Coletta Carr for 20 million. Marseille weren't happy about it. And then he managed to get some clubs to bid for Tovin. Remember Tovin?
Yes.
He was at Newcastle, went to Marseille.
Yes. Thovan. I like to call him Thovan.
Gorgeous Thovan.
Gorgeous Thovan. Yeah. Munter, no, different. Munter Thovan.
And so people liked him, but he didn't want to leave, kind of thing. So basically, his job was a bit of a failure. He didn't sell any Marseille players for Premier League. He's away to Derby County now. He's just away to join Derby County to sell players in January. But anyway, he was involved. Now, the reason this is prominent, right? The reason his name's popping up, because Rob Newman, or Manchester City, should I say, heavily scouted Coletta Carr a year ago, and Aldridge was trying to sell Coletta Carr initially to Man City, Man United. It's a big spider's web, Gonzo. That's
this is 6 degrees of separation. This is wonderful. I'm loving this. I'm thinking a song. I'm thinking a song coming on. Bowen's on fire, and he's shagging gorgeous Santos. Huh?
I mean, you could try
what
that
a bizarre video. There you go. This is what you get for barrel scrapings.
Well, you better. It's better than singing West Ham are massive, because Simon Jordan's not very happy about that, is he?
Oh, save it. We'll discuss it on the other video. Is this going up today?
Yeah, it'll go up tonight. So your video
tomorrow on the forum channel. Tomorrow on the forum channel. There you go.
We'll Simon Jordan.
We'll slag off Jordan for at least 8 minutes, because then we can get an advert in there. There you go.
Anyway, to be sensible for 2 minutes before we wrap this up, We've got a new scout.
We just said that.
Yeah, but what do you? It's just good news, though.
Oh, sorry. It's excellent news. I think this shows the direction of the club. This has got Moyes stamped all over it, and everybody else, apparently, Marseille and Rob Newman. But this is all part of, I think, of the new West Ham. And it's funny, actually, going back to the start of the video when we were talking about Ogbonna, there is no way that Sullivan hasn't spoken to David Moyes and said, are we activating this year's clause? David Moyes would have obviously said yes. I like this. I don't know whether whether Old Gorgeous there is a good scout or he's a poor scout. Don't know. But I like the fact, bearing in mind, it was probably about 2 years ago. I did a video saying we've got one scout, and the next one that we were advertising for, we were saying, would you like to be a scout for West Ham for a volunteer role, if you remember that. So this is definitely massive steps in the right direction, Geo. And I now think, okay, this is active recruitment rather than you sort of get the impression, someone playing Championship Manager or FIFA and thinking, oh, he's quite good. This seems like the real deal, the proper stuff,
Yeah, I think it's reading between the lines a little bit. It almost feels like he's been headhunted a little bit by Rob Newman. Rob Newman's come in and basically West Ham said to Rob Newman, who do you want in your team? He said, I want Georges Santos and Marseille.
He's gorgeous. Get him on. Yeah.
Why do you want him? Well, I know him. He was a scout in Spain, is a scout in France. I've now got any decent player in France. This scout will probably know about him. I've got France locked down now. We know West Ham have had minor success in France recently. You know, it's a Diop and Areola in particular as well coming in. Wait and see if he's a success. But we've dabbled in the French transfer market, and it's quite sort of known, if you like. Every Premier League club's trying to get in the French market at a minute because a lot of the players coming over here for quite cheap have turned out to be bargains. You know, Saïd Benrahma going to Brentford for a couple of £1 million, now 25 million. You know, there's plenty of examples out there that Premier League clubs are trying to get into the French market. You look at Mendy in goal for Chelsea, one of the best keepers in the world now. You know, there's some sort of anger that he's not even nominated for Ballon d'Or. That's how good he was. You fast forward 18 months, 2 years ago, Pellegrini was linked to Mendy when he was at West Ham. So the French market's there to be capitalised on, if you like, a little bit. And perhaps this is Rob Newman's way of trying to get West Ham into that area and start recruiting there. I would expect us to make a signing from the French league in the next 12 months. Why would you go get a scout from France if you're not going to then exploit his knowledge? He's probably got, you know, we speak about Rob Newman rocking up at West Ham. He'll have an encyclopedia knowledge of certain players up there. He might not be able to take anything out of the computer with him and rock up, but he's got it up there. I would expect that this Santos has got the same.
I reckon he did. I reckon he took a little sneaky from the Man City computer. Allegedly, not at all. I'm making it up, Rob. None of that happened.
Newman stuck it up his bum.
Yeah, snuck it out. Oh, he's not funny. He's walking funny. Rob, bye. Nice working with you. See ya.
Just like to walk like a duck.
See ya. Bye. Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, so there you go. West Ham got a new scout, and one of the Aldridges had been involved with Rob Newman and Santos.
Both. That's when we know that West Ham are progressing. Both Aldridges.
But only one. I didn't know which one I was meaning to write down. So anyway.
No.
Shall we leave it there, my friend?
I think so. I've enjoyed this.
What we'll say about Ogbonna, though, I think, do you know when we're saying 3 million? I remember you saying to me, David Sullivan, what did you say to me? He knows the cost of everything, but the price of nothing, or something like that.
Yeah, the price of everything and the value of nothing.
I think this is the opposite to that. I think actually, while it might cost a club X million, like the message it sends out to the rest of the team, to the manager and stuff, and that is we look after our own a little bit. I think it goes a long way. And while initially the short-term outlay might be that's a bit of a financial hit to take, I think the long-term implications and benefits for West Ham could be big, actually. I think further down the line, you think, actually, you show loyalty to Ogbonna. Here's a little something back. And I always keep saying it, the club are the first people to complain when a player hands in a transfer request. They're the first ones to say, oh, there's no loyalty in football anymore. Well, it's give and take, really. You've got to show that there's loyalty in football in order to receive loyalty back. It works both ways. This is a show of loyalty to Ogbonna, and I quite like it, actually. You know, I'm surprised by it, but pleasantly surprised as well. It's not very David Sullivan-like, but as you said, it's perhaps not a David Sullivan decision. But anyway, shall we leave it there?
Yeah, nice one.
Brilliant, there you go. Coming up tomorrow is more barrel scraping on the channel. But if you've got any content ideas yourself and Gonzo, gladly. Desperately, please. We'll take your suggestions. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And you can catch us tomorrow chatting about Simon Jordan. See you in a bit.